Hi everybody, it's Alyce-Kay Reckelhaus from the Widow Reckelhaus and Threshold of Hanini. And I thought, we've got a whole bunch of stuff that we've done here that we've made for our journal. And I was thinking, since I have about half an hour before I have to start classes, that I'd go ahead and start putting some of these things in and deciding where to put them and everything. So we've got, let me just show you what we've got. We've got this pocket, okay, that we haven't really decided if we want to do more with it or not. We've got some envelopes that we made just the other day. Okay, a lot of envelopes because my camera wasn't working. We have these really cool ladder pockets, okay, because they climb up. There's another name for them too, and I can't remember what it is. And then we also have this belly band that I want to use, I think, in the center. So, wait a second. And there should be another one of these pockets too. What has happened to that? That one's kind of important to my plan. Oh, here it is. Okay, so we also have this pocket. Okay, and so I haven't looked through yet. I haven't decided where to put things, except that I have an idea that I want one of these in the center with the belly band. So let's start with that, because I already kind of know that I want that. And usually I don't go ahead and figure out where to put these things at this point, but I was thinking about this, and I don't know, it just might be like early morning waking up, half asleep nightmare kind of things. But I thought, usually I have leftover things that I've made after doing this, and I thought, y'all might not appreciate me having you make things for this journal and then we don't use them. So I thought I probably should start figuring out what I want in here. So what I'm thinking is, I think it'd be kind of fun to have one of these pocket things, but like this, and then with the belly band on it. And I'm not sure which one yet. And if it's this one, we have to finish it before we can do that. I have my other phone open so that I can see what time it is, so I can get to my classes on time. No, I don't like that one. Okay, so I like this one. I think the green one. I think that's what I want to do with this. So what would end up happening is we'd have our belly band here, okay, and then this, I think I would just leave, like I would sew it or glue it to the sides, and so then it would be like this half pocket kind of thing. It could slide in this way, but I think what I'd do is leave it open so it could slide in this way. So I think that what I would do would close this. Now the question is, do I want to close this whole side, or do I just want to close this part right here so that we can still have this open pouch? And if so, how would I would have to glue. Okay, so I'd have to glue, but there's no way I could sew that I can think of. Okay, so I think that's what I want to do. I want to just glue this shut right here. I don't want to glue it up at the top because I want to be able to put things in. Because I'm taking you guys through my thinking process here, which is admittedly not the clearest thinking process. Okay, so I want to just close this. I don't want to glue all the way down because I don't want to glue this part closed. I want to be able to have this little pouch kind of thing here. So I'm going to just glue right here. Okay, so from the top of this on to the end of that. We'll see if I know what I'm doing. This is the first time that I've used this kind of pockets, you guys. I think I told you that I had just learned it from Natasha at Treasure Books. And so I'm still kind of figuring out how to use it and how to do it and stuff. Okay, and then the next thing I want to do is make sure, no, I think that's fine. Okay, yeah, so then we can stick something in this way. We could put something in this way, but it'd be kind of hard because it's going to be bound right there. So this is going to be the pocket right there. And then this part's going to be open. So we also need to close this side the same way. So right from that dot, basically. And I don't know if we'll get everything that we've made so far installed, but we'll get however much we can until I have to go. So I still am teaching classes to Chinese kids. It is starting to dwindle. I don't have as many classes. Like today I don't start until 7:30. I normally start at 6. Okay. And then how are we going to put it in? Because if we, no, we're not going to sew it down. We're going to leave it so it can flip, right? Okay, so we've got this little pocket here that's opened, and we've got this pocket here that's opened. It'll be bound right here, but we're not going to attach it to the book in any way because we want to be able to use this pocket. We don't want to lose that. Okay, so then what we have to do, we're also going to have to, I could have sewn this, I guess, if I thought of it before gluing that stuff shut, but we can glue it. And I think most of you are probably gluing anyway. So I don't have my voice yet. It's still froggy because I've only talked to my pets, not to any people yet. Okay, so we're going to cut off some of this. I think I'll do that after gluing. Okay, so I'm just going to glue right here. I'll glue part of the lace, but not all of the lace down. The main part I want to get is the paper part, but I don't really want the lace flopping around either, so I'm going to glue that down. Okay, and then we want to glue here from there to about there. Okay, so from this one to about here. Okay, let's see if I put too much glue. Nope, nope, I got it right. Okay, so that's flat. Okay, so then we can cut off the excess here, and where will that go? That'll go into our Franken paper, which we may or may not use for this journal. Oops, the glue hadn't dried yet. Probably should have waited until the glue dried, but I'm kind of trying to hurry because I want to get this done before I have to stop for my classes. All right. So we may use the Franken paper for this journal and we may not. Okay, so this is kind of like a page. All right, we're not going to glue it down. So it's going to be, oops. I may have to re-glue that, but I think it's still wet enough. Okay, so we're not going to attach this. It'll just be bound in right here. So I'm going to go ahead and crease this so that that belly band is creased. Okay, there we go. And then if we want to decorate this some more, we can. And we might. I'm not sure. I like it the way it is, and once you've got something stuck into it, you know, but we'll see. Okay, it does need to be right side up though. Okay, so we've got that. So now let's figure out, I think the next thing would be to figure out where we want to put this. Now I decided that I do want to fold this back so that this can be a pocket and this can be a pocket, or maybe more like a tuck. I do think that we need to trim this right here because when it's folded over that way, this part kind of sticks out. So let's see if we can get that. Yeah, that's good. And probably the same thing over here too, right? Yep. So let's get this. With this thick paper, when you fold it, it's going to take up space in the fold. Okay, so I don't think I want to sew this. I think I want to glue it because I just think that if I just sewed right there on the bottoms, it wouldn't be so pretty. So let's go ahead and glue this, and then we'll set it aside. So I'm not gluing this shut. I'm leaving that as a tuck, and then there's a tuck here, and then there'll be a tuck or a pocket there depending on whether or not we glue that. But I am going to glue this right here. Okay, so I'm gluing that shut. Probably shouldn't be doing this on top of my journal, huh? Let's set that aside. You're probably all yelling at me going, ah, no, don't glue on top of that. You're going to get glue on your journal, and you're right. Unfortunately, There's a time warp here. And when you're yelling at me, I've already done it. I can't hear you. All right, so there we go. All right, so we've got that. Now the question is, do I want to glue it at the top, which would eliminate this check, but I'd still have this check, and I would still have this check and this check. But if I glue it at the top, it'll kind of hold it down a little bit better. Or do I want it to stay open like that? I think I want it to stay open, and I can still glue it once it's in the book. It's a little bit harder, but I could do that if I decided to do that. Okay, so now let's figure out where we want to have this in the book, because I want it to be this is going to show on one page and this is going to show on another. Okay, and I don't want it like right before or after that one. So let's see here. That's too much like it. We kind of want something that's contrasting. Is that supposed to be that way? Okay, and here's the other question that we need to decide on is, do we want this to be at the bottom or at the top? And actually I think we do want it at the top because we're more likely to do a pocket on the bottom. So that would be like on the top. Okay, so let's close that. Ooh, that's kind of a, would that be neat? No, I don't like that. Okay. Or we could go this way. That could be kind of neat. Okay, so that's a possibility. There's those two dotted pages. Or do we want something to add some excitement here on this page that's somewhat boring? Kind of like that. Okay, so that's my first choice now. Or would it be better here? No. Or here? No. Okay, so I think this is what we're going to go with, is right here. Okay, and do we want it to go this way? Or do we want it to go this way? I like that. Okay, so there's all kinds of choices to make, and so you just kind of go through and figure out where you want to do things. Now this could be centered, or we could have it like up at the top, or we could have it down here at the bottom. We can put it wherever we want. Okay, and how do we want this? Do we want to do any more gluing or anything? I don't think so. I think I like it like that. Well, you know what? I think I do want to glue that top part shut. So let's do that. I think it'll just look neater. All right, so I'm going to set this aside so I don't get glue on it. And I'm just going to glue in here. And again, we can still decorate if we want. But we've got so much going on that I'm not sure I want to. Some people do a lot of decorating, and it always turns out looking good. Sometimes I tend to do too much decorating, and then that doesn't look so good. So I'm a little gun shy, I guess, about decorating too much. Okay, and let's glue this part right here. I think these pockets are way cool. Alyce, I think is her name, did some pockets similar to this just recently, and I saw it yesterday, and I really, really like what she did. It was a vintage one, and I'll try to remember to link it at the bottom. If I don't, you guys feel free to remind me. If I say I'm going to link something and then I don't, just say something in the comments so that I remember. Okay, what did we decide? Did we decide like this? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so that's cool. And then we can decide when we're ready to bind where we want it. Okay, so then we've got these two ladder pockets. I think that's the next big thing. So let's figure out, where do we want to put those? That's really pretty. Okay, so we open up our book. I don't know, maybe I want it right there. Ooh, gosh, they're so pretty. Both of them are really pretty. I think I want this one here, and then we'll put this one on the back. Okay, so we'll take out that page, and I'm going to glue these. And I'll show you in a second why I'm going to choose to glue them rather than sewing them. So since I'm going to put them in the middle of the page, I mean, I could put them down here, which would make them these 3 pockets plus a tuck. That's kind of a cool idea. Or do I want it in the middle? No, I kind of, yeah, I like that. Okay, so I could sew it. So let me go back to what I was saying. If I was going to put it in the middle, I wouldn't want to have this dark thread on the other side. You know, it would just be like the shape of the pocket. That'd be kind of weird. I would not be quite as hesitant if I was using white thread, and I could change to white thread for this. But I think that I would rather not have that. Now, since I'm going to put it here, I could use my thread, but, you know, and again, it would be on the back, but it's going to be on the edge, so it's not quite as big of a deal. But I do think I'm going to go ahead and glue it. Okay, so let's glue it, and yeah, I think I'm going to have them over like this, because that still leaves, this is a great page to write on because of the lines, and I think I want to go ahead and have this on there. So if I make it even with the bottom like this, look at how it's leaving some space here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and overlap it some, and then that's not going to be so obvious that I've probably sewn on the lace crooked is what happened. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue this in place. I'm going to make it a tuck, so I'm only going to glue this bottom and this side. Okay, so I'm going to open up my glue. That would help. You guys, do you just come to watch me to laugh at me because I make so many mistakes? I swear, sometimes my brain is not engaged. And I would use the excuse that it's early in the morning, but you've seen me do this kind of stuff at all times of the day, so you know that it's not because it's early morning. Okay. I'm really having to squeeze this glue out even though it's practically full. Okay, so we're going to overlap that part. We're going to go ahead and make it even with the bottom. Okay, there we go. And then this one over here, we're going to have this side and the bottom. There is so much traffic outside my house today. When I first moved here, this was a really quiet street, but the hospital has bought up the houses between itself and me, and so now it's like this main thoroughfare. It's what people take to get to the hospital. So, but it really surprisingly hasn't bothered me. I was afraid that it would, but it really hasn't. You know, you kind of get used to it, and I pretty much live in the back of the house. My bedroom is in the back of the house. This room is right by the street, but it's not bad. And to be honest, at my age, it feels kind of safe to be right by the hospital. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this back in. And I think we're going to stop there. We can install the envelopes a different time because I'm going to have to go to class pretty soon and it's not going to give us time to do anything. So I'm going to say goodbye. I love you guys. Thank you for helping. Tomorrow, I guess we'll put in the envelopes, or maybe we'll make something else. I reserve the right to change my mind. That's a woman's prerogative, right? All right. I will see you later. Bye-bye.